Alright, it is time to get some apples picked. We did not have a ton of apples this year and they have been dropping like crazy, so I'm going to get those picked today. I don't think I have it in me today to make apple pie filling after the last couple of days of plums, so I will find something a little less time consuming for the Every Bit Counts challenge, but we will get these picked today, put in the fridge, so I can make that pie filling this weekend perhaps. This was even fewer apples than I thought, but I think it's enough to do a full batch of apple pie filling, and if it's not, I will just scale the recipe down, because apple pie filling is what I want on my shelf. I have plenty of applesauce still left from last year, so yeah, I'm anxious to get some apple pie filling on the shelf this year. Good morning. Well, at least it's morning where I am. I just got in from picking apples, but after the last couple of days of doing the plums, I wasn't really feeling like making apple pie filling today. I might do that tomorrow or perhaps this weekend. We ended up with 26 jars of the plum syrup. I am looking at them now sitting on the counter. It hasn't even been 12 hours yet since I pulled them out of the canner, so I haven't touched them, but I can see that they all appear to have sealed, so that's great. As I was jarring it up last night, I told my husband, I said, it kind of smells like Dr. Pepper, which is a weird thing, especially because I didn't put the spices in there. But then I realized, because I had thought, what am I going to do with 26 pints of syrup? We do not eat that many pancakes, but we do like to make this Dr. Pepper jalapeno beef jerky. You boil the Dr. Pepper down until it's a syrup, and you mix in jalapenos and garlic, and it's delicious. So I'm thinking I might try a batch with this syrup, throw in some jalapenos and garlic, and give it a try, because if that works, it'll be a great way to use this up, and I think we would be really happy with that result. So I might give that a try the next time I find, you know, a London broil or something on sale. So I'm actually kind of excited about it now, because it went from this daunting, where am I even going to put these 26 jars, let alone use them up, to now like, oh, maybe we can make jerky with it. That's always a plus. We love jerky. I am looking at some of this activity on our Kvass bottles. This was the Plum Kvass. So I thought we could give it a check, see if we have carbonation. Yes, we do. So those are ready for the fridge. And since I showed you my yogurt separator yesterday, I thought I would show you the results of that. Let me move stuff around here a little bit. Let's see. So you can see here all of that whey in the bottom. I have already dipped into this a little bit this morning for my husband's yogurt that I packed for his lunch. But I mean, you can see this is incredibly thick. Like, incredibly thick. So I'm just going to move it to a jar. We also use this as sour cream. This is not sweetened, it is just plain. For my husband, I actually put it in these little, I do a little bit of homemade jam on the bottom to do like a fruit on bottom yogurt, and I fill the rest of the jar with yogurt, put the lid on, and that is how he eats it pretty much every day, unless we run out. So let me get this in this jar. But yeah, we use it as a sour cream substitute. I have used it, I have even used it as a mayonnaise substitute. I have made tuna with this. I have you know, it's a really great protein. So it's nice to substitute something that's maybe not that great for you with it. Like I said, we do sour cream. That is not really wanting to fit in there so good. Normally this fits in a quart just fine, but sometimes I take the culture from this part when it's already done, and yesterday I took it, yeah, I'm gonna have to, I might have to eat a little myself for breakfast this morning. I'll leave it like that for now. And then this was the jar of yogurt that I didn't have room to separate. I don't want to put that in there yet though. Let's put this whey in a jar. So the reason I wanted to bring you along for this was not only did I show you my yogurt yesterday, I told you that I was going to be utilizing this whey later this week for a different project. So that is where my whey is coming from. I'm going to just, since I'm going to use it right away, again, I'm not going to bother with washing it out, but I am going to put this yogurt that we made, or that hasn't been separated, in here. Even it's pretty thick, but my husband likes it really thick. And with yogurt, the more you disturb it, kind of the runnier it gets. So this, even though it seems thick now, by the time if I dished it up, it would be runnier than it is right now. Let's see, I am going to take the top bit off of this other jar, and I will have it with some homemade granola after I'm done filming here, just so I can make everything fit where it needs to go. So that'll get separated. That'll probably be another pint. I usually get about a half gallon is 2 quarts. It will result in a quart of the Greek yogurt and a quart of the whey. So this was a quart, so it should be a pint of the whey and a pint of the yogurt. So I'm going to pause you for a second, get all this put away, and bring you to today's project. Okay, for our actual Every Bit Counts challenge component today, I have those leeks that I had got at Walmart the other day. I am going to trim off each end. I don't know. See, that's still pretty woody. I'm going to cut off a good portion of this green. The dark green, the light green I will use. We are going to dehydrate this. I'm going to dehydrate it, I think, with potatoes. Those hash browns. So the hash brown, I've never dehydrated hash browns from frozen before. And it has kind of mixed reviews. Most people state that, so leeks have a tendency to hold a lot of dirt. These actually look pretty clean, but I am going to go ahead and just put them in this tub to give them a nice soak to make sure we don't get any debris dehydrated along with them, because nobody likes to bite into that grittiness. The hash browns. The hash browns have kind of mixed reviews on how well they dehydrate. One video that I watched said like the southern style, like the chunk hash browns, did not do well. That they got really dark and they just didn't look appealing. But a few people have said that they were able to do the shreds successfully. Ideally, I would be using our own potatoes, but they are not really ready yet. So I am doing this because I'm hoping to get some of these soup mixes made up relatively soon. If you haven't seen in previous videos, Little Hill Homestead did a video a while back that had, oh gosh, I don't know, 6, 8, 12, a whole bunch of dried soup mixes in jars. And so I am wanting to make a good portion of those. So part of my Every Bit Counts challenge, I have been dehydrating some of the ingredients that I will need for those. Other ingredients I will buy, beans, lentils, that kind of thing. I will be buying those to go in the mix. I think there were some that even had rice and pasta, maybe. So I know there were some that had pasta because she bagged it up separately and put it in on top of the jar, because you usually add that later in the recipe. So I am going to run some water on these. I will come back after they have washed. Like I said, they actually look pretty clean, but we will get those washed up. And I will try the potatoes. I have the shreds. We will give them a try, and we will learn together whether or not that works. I had looked into if I needed to pre-treat them. Since they're a frozen hash brown, they kind of have already been pre-treated, I think. So I'm just going to go frozen shreds to trays and see what we end up with. I will be back in a minute. Alright, I've got the leeks soaking. So we will go ahead and do these hash browns. I brought the onion dehydrator back out for this. I don't care if the potatoes take on the flavor of the leek, because it is potato leek soup is what this mix is going to be. I'm kind of feeling like I will have greater success the more spread out these are. The less time that they spend maybe kind of soggy because they're thawing, I'm thinking will be better. So because I have 6 trays, and I don't think the leeks will take up that many trays, I think I can divide this, what is this, a 26-ounce bag. I think I can probably divide it among 3 trays and be just fine. Have enough trays left for the leeks as well. Okay. Alright, that is that. Let me pause you, strain the leeks, and I will come back to give those a chop and get them on our trays for the day. Okay, I've got our rinsed and strained leeks here. I am going to just give them a rough chop, however I would be chopping them for soup, and throw them on the dehydrator. I just realized I set my apples after I picked them where this dehydrator is going to have to go, so I'm going to have to find somewhere else for the apples. I might bring them in where it's a little bit cooler in the air conditioning. I don't have room in the fridge, so they're going to have to stay out until I'm ready to use them, but we should probably try to make them be a little bit cooler. So when you use leeks, how much of the green do you use? Before I even cut the bits off in that last segment, I had cut a good portion off of the top. I kind of really only like the tender bits. This application, I might have been able to go a little bit farther up, since they're going to be dried and then rehydrated. It would probably make even those darker greens a little more tender. I thought they might be good in stock since I strain them off, just to give a nice flavor. What do you use them for? Or do you just use them? I mean, I definitely cut the really woody, dry, tough, very tops off. Like the top probably 2 to 3 inches always for sure come off. But I never quite know how far up from the white I should go. Like I said, usually when I'm making a soup, I want them to be really tender in there, so I tend to use the white and just the light green portion. But I am thinking the greens would probably lend a nice flavor to stock. So I'll probably just throw them in the freezer. I have a scrap bag in the freezer that has miscellaneous veggie scraps for stock making. Trying to separate where these have curled together so they dry better and more evenly and faster. I gotta say, doing those onions last week, the back porch smelled so good, but I could see where it could be a little overwhelming inside your home. And the day I was dehydrating the peppers, I also dehydrated them on the back porch. And when my husband got home, he says, "Are you doing something with peppers?" He came in the kitchen and then back out to the living room where I was out there crocheting or working or something. And he says, "I thought there'd be something with peppers cooking. I could smell the peppers." And I told him, I said, "Oh, they're in the dehydrator." And he looked around and he's like, "Where's the dehydrator?" I said, "On the back porch." So even on the back porch, he could still smell it in the house. The other benefit of having it outside in the summer is just that it is not putting off any heat in the house, which is always nice. Because we do have an AC unit, but it is just a window unit in the living room. So the kitchen, if it's hot in the kitchen, it stays hot in the kitchen. I open it up at night. You guys, I think even these leeks are making me cry. Okay, I can feel my eyes burning a little bit. See if I can get through without having to shut the video off. That's crazy. I didn't expect them to do that. Alright, this is all we have left. My husband asked if I was going to make cup noodle for him when he saw all the veggies out on the counter the other day. So apparently that last segment got cut off. I was just about finished up anyways. My phone ran out of internal storage, so I had to clean up a bunch of stuff to come back. That's it for day 11. I think we're on day 11. Come back tomorrow for day 12. I would appreciate if you are liking the content, struggling with me, that you subscribe. You know, like the videos. I love the comments. You know, so far I've been able to respond to everything, which has been great. We are doing a giveaway, the Sandor Katz's Fermentation Journey book. I will connect the link in this video to take you to the video that you can enter that contest on. But for now, have a great day, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow.